Let me start by asking you to share with us what you've been up to in the last few years. I mean, I know that you've been busy doing one or two things, but I just wanted you to
Yeah.
like let us into what's going on.
Okay, apart from the fact that I've been living my life,
Yeah.
yes, I've done a bit of acting, and a lot of people who follow me on social media know about how much humanitarian work I've been doing. And when I say humanitarian work, I mean I go as far as, or should I say, I've become like a middleman between the masses and the government, the police, lawyers, and basically what I do is from time I've been someone who has never been comfortable standing by and watching people either get bullied or cheated or something like that. So it's kind of like been my thing. So from Twitter, Instagram, when you go there, you see an issue, somebody has an issue, maybe a girl was beaten up or police illegally arrested or extorted somebody, you see them tagging or people saying tag Rugged Man is because of what I've been doing. So basically, I come between, I stand and speak for such victims, and then I give them any assistance they need. I connect them to the proper police, connect them to lawyers who actually take up their cases pro bono, as in they don't have to pay, kind of thing, unless where it's really required. Then if it's maybe a case of sexual harassment or something, I connect them to the real human rights organizations that help them out. And I've been doing this for close to 9, 10 years. So yeah, I know I slowed down on music for a bit, but I really got into the whole humanitarian thing. So now, in the beginning, when they say tag Rugged Man, a couple of people will come and say, why should we tag Rugged Man? Is it government? Is it the police? But then when they now see like maybe an hour after the person cried out and somebody suggested tag Rugged Man, they will now see the victim come back to say, oh, help me thank Rugged Man, or he just helped me do this, sort the issue. And now nobody says, why do you tag Rugged Man anymore? In fact, they join to say tag Rugged Man and just tag me direct. So I even, okay. And then, like, okay, movies, humanitarian work. And then, of course, I started my own online talk shows. I won't say talk shows. I have like three of them online on YouTube and on Facebook. There's a Rugged Man TV International on YouTube, and then on Facebook you have Rugged Man Ruggedy Baba. It's Rugged Man TV in bracket, and then yes, you see me. I was in the UK for a while. I traveled for a while. Almost immediately after the elections, I traveled. And my friend said, "Why did you travel?" I said, "Because I wanted to go and how do I put it? Reprogram my mental stability." Anyways, I rested a bit. Then I started an online talk show where I started talking to a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, not just entertainers. I also talk to Nigerian business owners there in the UK, even in Germany, and some artists in America, South Africa, and you find this all on my YouTube and Facebook. So and then the one I just started recently. I've always been I act. You find me in Jim Ike's Bad Comments. You find me in Tony Abraham's Ghost and the Tout too. There's a new series Jim Ike is working on. I'm on that one. And then there's another one, Moses Iwan, director Moses Iwan, Kabi, Dan the Kabi. You see me in that series. And then I now just recently decided to put both feet into skit making too. Yes, and you still find that on Rugged Man, Ruggedy Baba, Rugged Man TV on Facebook. But then, me being me, people do the skits, the regular skits, funny, stupid stuff. It makes you laugh, cracks you up. But I decided to add a touch of what I call edutainment. The last, the one of the biggest ones I did recently was featured Jide Kene. He acted the new Living in Bondage. So the it's a I call it emergency. It's a bit more than a skit. So basically, it's about the police stopping a young man driving on the road, and he's trying to tell them there's an emergency. He's rushing for. So there's an emergency, of course. when you meet the bad police, they don't want to listen. They took his phone from him and they just delayed him. Then one of the officers got a call that there was an emergency. What hospital? He rushed to the hospital. His son had passed on the hospital bed, and he was busy shouting that he'll burn down the hospital and everything. That where's their doctor and all whatnot. The nurse is like, the doctor is on his way, you know. And then he's like, what kind of hospital? You know, is their doctor on the way? Then she goes, oh, he just texted he's here. The doctor is here. Where is the foolish? In the middle of saying, where is the foolish? The door opens and lo and behold, the guy that walks in is the same guy that he and his men were holding on the road, saying, you know, just talking rubbish while he was telling them there was an emergency. So basically the emergency the doctor was rushing to do was to save the life of the officer's son, which didn't happen because they held him on the road. So I did that, and you know, that particular video has gone viral. It's on Linda Ikeji, it's on a lot of, just yesterday I saw a Ghanaian radio presenter. He posted on his Instagram. He posted the video on his Instagram, and he was, all I was hearing was, sorry, I don't understand the language, but basically he was breaking down my video from top to bottom on Ghanaian live radio, and he played the video. You understand? So it's what I'm doing, yes, skit, some funny parts, but I'm putting, I want to educate people, enlighten people, and entertain you, and at the same time make you laugh. So in a nutshell, Ruggedman has been into movies, online talk shows, skit maker, and I do my events, foundation nights, where I celebrate Nigerian contemporary artists who came up around my time. I've hosted the likes of Durella, Adex, Conga, Phase, a lot of them, African China, and cool, yes. And then, yes, I am back in the studio. I'm actually working on an Afrobeat album, and I'll be working with a lot of young artists. I have Two-Face on there, I have Singer on there, some Gen Z artists. Sometimes people ask me, how have you been able to stay around so long? And what I tell them is you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to change and flow with the times. You know, this is the Gen Z era. I'm working with Gen Z producers. I'm working with Gen Z artists. Trust me. And in fact, I'm a veteran Gen Z. And now I'm coming for you. So basically, that's what Ruggedman has been doing. And the reason I missed the City People Awards, apologies again. I told you earlier, I was shooting that day, and by the time I finished, immediately I finished shooting, I sent a message. You know, like I said, as we're walking in, I was actually watching it, or some of it on Instagram. I saw Madiva take an award and all, you know, but he was done by then, so I couldn't make it. So that's why when I got your message about when can I have, of course.
So how have you been able to adjust to the changes that the industry has heaped on you? Within Gen Z?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No. I've always been a realist. I've always known it will happen. Because there were artists before me. And I'm sure one of them, somebody asked him or her this question. How do you feel now that the Ruggedman and them are the ones reigning? So that's what you're asking me. So I knew it was going to happen. So, but I was happy I've been able to put my name in the sands of Nigerian history, music, you know, history. You understand? Which is something I don't think a lot of people will ever get to do. Because there's some artists that whenever you talk about Nigerian music, that you cannot help but mention their names. And I believe strongly that I'm one of those. That's a great honor for me. You understand? So yes, I knew it was gonna happen. I knew there would be new artists, because I've always told people, you don't buzz forever. You don't buzz forever. You watching me right now, whatever you're doing, you might be, if you're at the top right now, make the best of it. Plug yourself in so many places. Invest in what you can invest in, because trust me, that buzz does not stay forever. 10 years might feel like 200 years, but trust me, one day somebody will just say, where is this guy that used to sing that song? You understand? And that will be you they'll be asking for. So I knew it was going to come, so it wasn't a pressure on me, really. Because what you know, what you expect does not surprise you or doesn't shock you. So the most you do for yourself is just try to if you're into music, if you're really into what you're into, like 100%. I don't mean you not having other things you do, but if it's like saying an actor, if you're an actor at heart, if you're a musician at heart, you can never stop. No matter how. I know some people watch younger artists singing and they feel there's this pain, there's this, I wish it was me again. But then nothing stops you. Nothing. I have been dropping music. I dropped music. 2021, I dropped the Situation EP, but it was basically conscious music, talking about the situation of the country. I featured praise. Then I also gave a platform to like young artists on a song called One Love. So One Love, I put out a social media challenge, a one Situation EP challenge. I put out an instrumental. I said I wanted to give an opportunity to two young talented artists to feature on the EP with me. But instead of two, I got like 8 that I could not drop. So what I now did the One Love track 1 and 2. So track 1 had 5 of them on it, 2 singers. Two singers, Bobby Philly, Demo, Lena Martins, Annie the Blessed, and Hot Bars. So I put 5 of them on part 1, and then part 2 was a Wazobia version. Started with the YNKs, and is a Yoruba rapper, DJ Cinch, and Hausa rapper, and then Lopo, an Igbo rapper. So, and if you listen to the Situation EP, it's like when Fela drops a hip hop work, because all of the young artists on there, they touched on almost everything affecting Nigeria. I've been dropping music. I know, yes, it will not buzz like the whole, because I'm not up there with them. It's not my time now. You understand? But then I drop music and it just goes. And then, of course, who was it that somebody asked some time ago that why did one not, there was an older artist also who dropped the song, and somebody was like, this one is still dropping music. I'm like, wait, you're saying it as if his fans all died when he stopped. His fans just grew up, you know. And the joy for me is most of our fans, Ruggedman, Two-Face, Plantation Boys, Rough, Rugged and Raw, and Co, African China, most of our fans are CEOs today. There are a lot of them are CEOs, a lot of them are big men and women. So when we meet there, people don't know sometimes what goes on. You know, but it's not all about the buzz. You will buzz quite all right, but then what you create for yourself, the bridges you build for yourself is what will matter at the end of the day when your buzz drops. But trust me, your buzz will drop. So it was not it wasn't pressure for me. I was just happy. I'm always happy when I see young people doing good. And then, you know, one of the things that hits me most is I go back to when I dropped and there was a line somebody said that Ruggedman revolutionized the Nigerian music industry, that I kind of cleared the way for young people, for people to know that they can actually do this by themselves. Till today, I've never signed for any record label, but I'm still Ruggedman. You understand? Back then, a lot of artists couldn't stand up on their own and do things. But I did it. Both the years, there was wahala with their hair and everything, but then it was done and it cleared the way for the industry and the doors opened for, and that's part of what has led to what they call Afrobeats, to what is happening today and Nigerian music taking over the world. So, boss, it's not pressure for me. It's an honor for me to have been instrumental to getting Nigerian music to where it is today.
There's no denying the fact that you played a huge part in the revolution of rap music, you know, part of which has transcended into becoming Afrobeat and all of that. How do you feel today to say that rap music isn't flourishing like it used to be back in your time? Then it was a genre that was on its own thriving within the music industry. So much so that, you know, you could take on, I mean, you had monster hits like Big Bros, Piece of War, Baraje, you know, and a whole lot of others. And then you had people who were also responding, people who felt you were speaking to them, you know, your colleagues in the industry who felt. And once they dropped, people were waiting. All of that has, you know,
died down a bit.
Yes. Now you can, apart from you guys doing the Yoruba rap stuff, you don't have too many of them. Rappers. How do you feel about this?
Well, it's actually a sad occurrence, but I understand why.
Mm.
They have to eat. So let me explain why I say they have to eat. It's easier to push R&B. It's easier to push singing than to push rap.
Yeah.
You understand? Unless you mix the rap, you mix it, which was what I did when I came out. Yes, every time I dropped a single, I dropped 2 tracks. There's a rap track and then there's a dance track, and then of course I mixed it up. Baraja was like one of the biggest commercial songs.
Yes.
There was rap in there, but there was also singing in there. So, but nowadays everybody wants the quick fix. A lot of people want the quick fix. Let's say it'll take you 2 years to push a rap track.
Yeah.
It will take you probably 5 months or 6 to push an R&B track. People will hear your singing and they get it quicker than it will take rap. So some of the rappers don't want to wait that long. They don't want to wait that long, so they just switch and just add the whole singing. Black Bones, I know, wonderful rapper. But what he's doing more now is, he switched it up. It's not a bad thing. I don't blame him because, like I said, everybody has to eat. You have to pay your bills. Olamide, great rapper, but he does more of the Yoruba and singing thing. You understand? So if you check, after the likes of, let's say, MI, Vector is almost the last. I think Vector was about the last that did rap. Almost everybody else now that's into rap, I won't even call it rap anymore because a lot of them are just all about singing and all, which I understand. I don't hold it against you because a lot of people will not go to download or stream rap, especially hardcore rap. You understand? So I understand. I'm not a kid in the industry, so I know what is. I see it happening, but I'm like, hey, if you want this guy to do rap the way you love it, if he's not paying his bills, will you?
So how come you guys didn't have to wait a year, 2 years?
Because there wasn't that much rap then in Nigeria. There wasn't that much. And then I was intelligent enough to mix it up. Right now, if I say whether you like whether you don't like the thing we say, you still dey shake body. You understand? Tribesman, Ruggedman, who else was then? What's his name? Rough, Rugged and Raw hardcore play who give them waiting day. You understand? There was always that element of singing, but then you still put your rap. That will keep it. But nowadays, some don't even want to do that. They just go all out and just sing their thing. And like I said, I don't blame them.
So, from that time, to now, it's good to hear that you're back in the studio, to put something together.
Yeah.
Between the time you chose to stay back, a bit and watch the youngsters step up, who are some of those hardcore rappers, you mentioned Black Bones, that have really blown your mind, that you think you have some really, really strong respect for their craft?
Ladipo. I like Ladipo. I like Ola Dips. I like Ladipo. I like Ola Dips. No, Ice Prince is not young. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Ice Prince. Yeah, I think Ladipo, Ola Dips. Who else is there? Okay, YC was just before them. So, yeah. So I just hold on to Ladipo and Ola Dips as the 2 young ones that I feel.
So are you more conscious with doing, more comfortable with doing conscious music right now?
No, I mix it up. I felt, music, not to sound too deep, I'll say music is spiritual. Music is supposed to be how you feel what you feel. But where most Nigerians get it wrong, they go into entertainment, they go into music because MC Sheye don't blow, he's doing this, let me go and do what he's doing. That's why a lot of Nigerians are going into music or movies, because they see somebody else has done it and is successful and is driving big cars and all, they want to do that. We came into entertainment because we love entertainment. You understand? So to answer your question on am I more comfortable doing conscious music, I did the conscious EP because at that time the situation in Nigeria was terrible. Not like it has changed much, but then I had I had some things to say, and I said it through music. There's a particular track called Situation where, I'll not lie, the day I left Lekki toll gate, the protest ground, one of the days I left there, I just thought to myself, if only there was a song that everybody could be singing at the same time on that ground, because there were a lot of people there. And just in the car there as I was driving, I started putting something together. And that's actually the title of this EP, Situation. Check it out. Easy. How does it start? Okay, this is... Okay, hold on. Wait, please. I must... Oh, sorry. When you go tired today, fight us. Pack innocent people for sale like Titus. They say police are your friend, but they be like them, they whine us. Because they're only for the write-ups. As in, when them see you for street, then go change them for you. If you don't know anybody, I'm sorry for you. Them say bail is free. Which bail is free? To come out for there, you must pay the fee. Now which kind of life be this? And I took an interpolation of P squares. Oh, that police here, waiting be this here. I be your fellow Nigerian, oh, we know they beef, oh, eh. It's on the EP, and I made it that simple, I made it that easy.
For people to...
To
flow.
So if you check the Situation EP online, the track Situation, easy. I'm still working on shooting the video for that. So I did the Situation EP, I did that conscious music because that was what I was feeling at that point. I wanted to talk about things. I didn't just want to go on social media. I didn't want to just leave it on social media. And then that's another thing I tell a lot of entertainers. You have a bit more, you have more responsibilities than every other person. Even if it's not physically, at least use your craft. You don't have to insult her. I don't insult the government, no, but I talk to them. I don't insult the police, but I talk to them. I ask them questions. And then the fact that they know that when I speak, people listen. They also listen. If you see me on Twitter, you see me on the Nigerian police, we talk. We talk back and forth, down to the Lagos PR. I've known all the Lagos State Police PROs. I live in Lagos. So I've been friends with all the Lagos State Police PROs, and I don't disrespect them, but I call them out when it's necessary, but very politely. They know. So that's what I did that music. I did the conscious music because that was what I was feeling at that time.
You also have this
foundation night that I do, yeah.
Bring guys together. How do you really hope to make that a really big event? Because, like you said, a lot of the fans that you guys have there have all grown up, and they still yearn for. I mean, every week the awards, music awards we had Sunday.
Yeah.
You needed to see how people were grooving to
the old songs.
To the old songs. So it's always going to be there. Are you looking at having something bigger? For instance, it would be nice to see Ruggedman on stage with Idris, with Tony, with all of them, and all under one roof.
Yeah, that was actually exactly how I started it. City people even supported. 2019 was the maiden edition.
Okay.
You don't want to understand what happened. I did it at Eco Hotel. I brought everybody. I brought Plantation Boys. I brought Sonny Neji. I even went as far as bringing Safari. One day you go better. I brought Pretty of Junior and Pretty, African China, Azados, Akpororo supported Mr. Real Nice. Of course, Tony Tatwila, Idris, Eddie is not in the country, so he couldn't. Ayangba. As in, I've never seen an event where the VIP section, the table section, it was like an Owambe. Nobody sat down. Just like you said, the way they were grooving at you, that's how it was. Because it was taking everybody down memory lane. And like I said earlier, most of our fans are big men and women today, either age-wise or position-wise. So most of them are even the ones who are organizing things now. They are the event. They are the owners of event companies. They are the owners of a lot of things. So you can get them to come out. You know, the craziest part was in 2019. I don't know if you know how much a hotel costs. I did it all by myself. No sponsorship. It was not easy, but it was something I believed in, and that's why I did it. You know, and I was hoping. Yes, I was talking. Then after 2019, a lot of brands were now interested. 2020, I was waiting to do the second edition. COVID
came.
COVID.
You understand? So that's why I now reverted to doing the foundation night, where I just, instead of hosting all of them, I just do like two or three, once in a month or once in 2 months. You know, and another thing I do with most of them, my contemporaries, like you said, I try to talk to them and let them know, hey, look, you don't just sit down and just sit down. Especially if you love entertainment and music the way you do. You don't want to, because Wizkid and Davido are buzzing now, they have their own fans. That doesn't mean you don't have fans. And that doesn't mean you can't even win over some of their fans. You understand? And the only way you can do that is by dropping music and then pushing it. Yes, it might not go as far as theirs, but then you never know. We were all here when, God rest his soul, when Fatai Rolling Dollars just blew out from nowhere. You understand? So you never know. So just keep I always tell them, keep doing what you're doing. If you roll over and play dead, they'll take your dead. If they call you old school and you say, yes, I'm old school, you're old school. See me, I'm wearing pencil jeans with them. We die here. Because, you know, how you present yourself is how the world takes you. You understand? So I've gone from Ruggedman, the rapper, to the actor, to the humanitarian, to the skit maker. And one of the things that endeared me to even the Gen Z the most, like I said, was my humanitarian work online. Because most of the people who I was getting out of trouble, who were either illegally arrested, extorted, most of them were Gen Z. Because most, like my friend would say, they're the whatever generation. They don't want to learn. They have coconut head. Most of them, you know, you have the Google and stuff, but they never use it to do research that will help them. Instead, once something happens, they're like, oh, what's going on? What do we do? What do you do? If you have checked somewhere online, you know what to do. You know the right numbers to call. You know what to say to a policeman or an army man or a lawyer, but they don't. They just want to cruise, vibe. When you vibe finish school finish, then waiting. Then they now come to either Odashaya or Ruggedman. Help. You know, all you had to do was just say, oh, just say 1, 2, 3, and you're done. You know, because sometimes I get calls where people, some of these bad policemen, yes, we have them. Same way we have bad civilians and good civilians. So you know, there was a video director friend of mine they called me at about 2 a.m. and that's the luck they always have. I don't sleep. I don't sleep. Sometimes I sleep 4 a.m. Right. I'm either working, I shoot and edit myself. Okay. Most of the skits, the last 3 skits that's come out, I shot and edited. You know, even back then, when I did in 2005, DJT and we shot Peace or War and Big Bros. I was part of co-directed. So I've always been a hands-on person. So I'm always almost awake, either watching something or creating something for others to watch. One of the things that hit me some years ago is that the Netflix you're sitting down, okay, let me not even just use Netflix. The movie you're sitting down and watching, the movie you rush, you want to leave office quickly and rush home, drive to go and watch, was created by somebody, is owned by somebody, and is making money for somebody. What do you have that's making money for you? So that is, it hit me a bit late, but bros, better late than never. So I do a lot of stuff. And then of course, right now as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to some prospective investors to relaunch my clothing line. Yeah, somebody said, you are doing a lot of things. Yeah, Igbo. It's Dangote Igbo. It's Magadonu Igbo. Everybody needs money. But just, you know, have something. So basically, the music director, they called me at about 2 a.m. Rugged, police don't hold us for here. Where? What did you guys do? I always ask them, what did they do? I'm not about tea. A guy called me once and said, police held him for Yahoo. I said, are you a Yahoo boy? He said, they found something. I told him, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do.
Mm.
I fight for innocent people, not people who are guilty of something. Not someone who, you can't commit a crime and now expect me to come and beg for you. Now, the day I do make that mistake once, I'll lose my voice to speak. So I never do that. So I said, what did you guys do? He said, nothing. I said, then why are they holding you? He said, why are they arresting you? He said, they found paper dollars that they use for props for the music video where they're coming from. I'm like, okay, so just show the officer show him the video now, clips and everything. Has he seen all the equipment? He said, yes. I said, then show him the videos where you use at least you're just coming from the location. He said they've shown him. I'm like, so why is he still holding you guys? That he wants to take them to the station. Of course, I know why. But then, and I said, okay, please. Normally, I don't ask to speak to officers because I'm not an officer. But once in a while, I just feel if we can just talk. I'm not trying to talk to you to command you or anything. No, I just want to ask. So I just said you should please give one of the officers the phone. He gave one officer, he was a junior officer. He sounded like a younger guy. Immediately I said, oh, sorry, oh, good evening, this is Ruggedman. He said, Baba. He knew me. I was like, okay, thank God, at least he knows me. I'm like, okay, sorry, oh, so what's going on? I hear you guys are arrested. You want to take them to the station. But they've told you what they do. They've shown you. He said, yes, but it's just their commander. I'm like, okay, please, can I talk to him? He now said, somebody wants to speak to you. I heard the commander say, no, I'm not talking to anybody. He now said, no, he's one of us. So that's what the junior officer said. He now took the phone and I said, good evening, sir. Sorry to disturb you. I don't mean to disturb you, but those are my people you have with you. I hear you want to take them to the station. He said, yes, they have fake dollars. I said, yes, he told me that. I said, but I also told him to tell you that what he does, which is he's a music video director, and I told him to show you all the equipment, to show you and tell you that they're just coming from a set, and to also show you clips where they use the paper dollars for the music video as props. He said, yes, but why do they have dollars? Fake dollars. I said, officer, okay, sorry. Sometimes we just need to be very realistic and not, do things that will embarrass us. I said, the route you're going now, you will just end up embarrassing yourself and the police again. Because now, one, you stopped them on the road. It was during curfew. So it was around 11 something. They were rushing home. So I said, one, you stopped them on the road illegally. Two, you searched their bags illegally. You went into their bag and brought out the fake dollars. They now showed you why they have it, but you're still saying you want to take them to the station. I said, boss, if you had seen them somewhere trying to spend that fake dollars, then I will understand that's a crime they're committing. But right now you took your hand inside, collect them. I said, fine. Basically, what I was doing there was letting him know exactly what he's doing. I know what he's doing, and I've given you the reasons why you shouldn't even be holding them. The worst thing you can do, or the most you can do, is tell them to rip it all up in front of you and they can go. But they should remember to pack it. Don't litter. So I told him that, and I said, okay, but if you still want to take them to the station, no problem. Please, what can I know your name if possible and which police station? So I can tell my people and we know where to come to. The line cut. After I kept calling and calling him, it was ringing, almost 3 minutes. Then finally, my friend calls me and was like, Baba, what do you do? I said, do how? He said, the man just called the call, just the pace, up and down, just the pace, the vet. I said, nothing. I just gave him reasons why he's not supposed to be holding you and just showed him, look, he's just going to embarrass himself and the police again. Said later, that the man was just pacing up and down. They just gave them their phone and said, now they go. But did he need me to tell him what he already should know as a high-ranking officer? You understand? So those boys, there's no way, those boys, immediately they go home, they called me and they were so happy. And of course, the words kept spreading. Like I do that a lot. To a point, somebody asked me one day, who they back you? Who's your backing? I said, not God. One of them said, no, he has men in government. I said, if only government, and I'm not special advisor. So basically, the whole humanitarian work I do is what has been keeping me out there too. You understand? Always, this gist is coming from your question about what I do and say to my contemporaries. So I always tell them, look for something to keep you out there. Look for something to put you out there. If it mustn't be music forever, it can be something else. So even me without doing music, I was on social media every day. Either people are tagging me or blogs are carrying something I've done, or there's a case of Ms. Waneka that police struggle with her, broke all her nails. Oh, then there's Larry Adidura, the movie guy. All I saw in the video was, Ruggedman, you told me to be a law about this. I said, where did I told you? I've not met you before. But at the end of the day, I ended up still helping him. And you understand? So that has kept me out there still. And then same thing I tell all of them. And then back to me doing music right now. What I'm doing now is I'm taking the advice I give others. And it's an advice I gave myself from the beginning. If you, in Nigeria right now, a new song drops almost every 30 minutes. So what's going to be in your own that will make yours stand out? In the industry, I decided to be very vocal, be myself, and I named names and I flogged with K. Nobody did it then. I was the first until today. Nobody's they're really not that brave. But hey, you have to live like Kanayo and make sacrifices.
You made lots of enemies.
Yes, but that's life. But the thing is, everything I did wasn't coming from a bad place. I had most of the artists I mentioned in those songs, I didn't know them personally. You understand? So it wasn't a beef thing. To me, I still call it constructive criticism, whether they like it or not. But then the creative person in me, wove it the way I did. If it was just if it was a write-up, I could have just written, oh, Nigerians are celebrating the wrong people. We have better rappers, we have better singers. But they would have just read it and that'll be it. And when you're in school, when they ask you questions, they'll say, make reference. So they were reference points. They were reference points. And that it means words. So, but like today, we're all great friends, really. Even back then, Idris and I, we've done like 3 songs together. And even on this new album, I'm hoping to work with him. And then one of the funniest things was how Idris and I became friends. A lot of people didn't even know that Idris and I became friends as way back as 2005.
Really?
Yeah.
How did it happen?
Cora Awards. I was going for Cora Awards. I was at the airport with my manager, and then there was this lady in front of me. She had her back to me, so she had a baby. She was carrying her baby like this. So I was behind, so the baby was facing me. So seeing the baby, that's why I was doing the baby's cheeks. That's good. They're talking to my manager and doing, Then the mother now turned and looked. Immediately she looked at me. I saw this look on her face. To me, I thought, oh, she recognized me, Ruggedman. Again. I thought she recognized. It was because she recognized me as Ruggedman, the artist. So I now looked at her and said, hello. I was not playing with the baby. Only for the man in front of her to just lean this way and look. It was Idris. So apparently that was his wife, his daughter. And my finger was still on her cheek, like this. And I looked at him, he looked at me, we looked at each other, and I was like, hey, what's up? He just said, hey, have fun. We just chopped up. And I said, oh, you did go today? As in, is he going today? He said, I know that his wife and the child are going today, that he's coming. I'm like, oh, okay. And that was it. Till today, Idris and I have never sat down to talk about or anything.
Wow.
We just became friends. We even did a tour of Germany together. He was one of the first people that heard Ruggedy Baba when I recorded it. You understand, before I released it. So we just became great friends till today.
Interesting.
Let me take you back to the very beginning. The Ruggedman brand. How did it all start?
Comic. Okay, let me explain. When I first started loving rap music,
What was this?
it was for the love of it. I'll say like when I was in secondary school. Secondary school, I gave myself the name Ruggedman from secondary school. Not even, I'll be primary school, no. Hey, well, I think just as one.
Ruggedman.
Just as one. Yeah, no, I will explain. Don't worry, see, when people hear Ruggedman, you people have bad mind. Your mind always goes somewhere else, but I will explain and you understand why it was still in my small boy mind that it came from. So now, when I first started loving rap music around that 1980 something, because I love music from when I was really young. So I knew about a lot of MCs, MC Yellow, MC Ren, Father MC, Young MC, MC Light, and all that. So I called myself Soul MC.
Okay.
I called myself Soul MC. Then it was just for fun. And then I'll write out lyrics of songs, rap tracks, and I'll be miming them, and I'll record the instrumentals. Anytime I hear a track, I always wanted to sing along or rap along. The very first track I ever did was Snow. I don't know if you remember Informer. You know, so bro, an uncle of mine, God rest his soul, Uncle Jonathan, he brings tapes, VHS tapes of Rap City, UMTV raps. And then there was a particular one he brought that they were writing the lyrics out on the screen. So that's how I learned to Informer. You know, so the name is Nomi, I go blame. Detective man, I say, that name is Nomi, stab someone down the lane. So I learned, that was the first track I ever learned. So fast forward, I went to, my friends knew I could rap in secondary school. I attended at Torashi Boys High School. Yes, I'm a mainland boy. Yes, some people they look at me and they're like, "Oh, I thought you went to King's College." No, I told them actually blue and black. No, Larry, off Shaga Road. So,
were you born there? Were you born
in Lagos? No.
Okay,
No. I wasn't born in Lagos. We moved to Lagos when I was 6 years old. I've been in Lagos. That's why even till now, a lot of people, I think 85% of Nigerians think I'm Yoruba. But I'm Igbo. You know, so then we'll go to school, we'll go to some, they do this thing called lit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's yeah, no. He's my senior. You know, they do lit where different schools come together, debate and all whatnot, and all. So we'll go, and then there was always the rapping competition, miming competition. My friends would say, "Ah, go now, you win." And I used to look, when I hear people who were trying to rap back then, I'm like, nah, they're not my level. There's no need it to be, you know. So I refuse. I always refuse. But there was a particular year, I cannot remember the year, when it was in Surulere Girls Secondary School, near Fela's temple. So when Surulere Secondary School, me and my friends were just chilling. Next thing I heard, you know, I just realized I was hearing somebody rap. And I was like, wait. And I heard the guy was rapping. I was like, oh, nice. Where's that coming from? They said, oh, they're doing a rapping competition. Really? And we now walk closer. Then the second guy rapped and it was good too. I just said, wait, bless her, I think I'll join. My friends were like, oh yeah, they just dragged me before I changed my mind. They not dragged me to beside the stage and they tried to get the MC's attention. They finally got his attention and they told him, our friend wants to join. And the MC was like, no, that they've already finished taking out. They said, this boy that we have been begging for how long? Now he has on his own come to say he wants it. Oh, you know, he did not let me go on. Then all of a sudden they dropped. By the time we went round again, they just dropped everybody. It was just myself and those two guys. I remember their names till today. Cool G and Mad Max. I remember that. I don't remember their faces. I don't know who they are. I don't know where they are. But these two guys were one of the two people who really pushed me because they were good. So I joined them, and then it became a freestyle battle thing between the three of us on that stage. That particular segment was probably supposed to last maybe 30 minutes, but we took it to almost an hour because we just kept going and good. They kept passing the mic. They now said, okay, they have to stop it. That they now announced that we'll continue. The next lit was going to happen in Anglican Girls Secondary School. That we'll continue there. So everybody looked at each other like, oh yeah, now we'll see in Anglican. That's how I went home. I went home that day and I wrote 15 pages of rap. I wrote 15 pages of rap at both of them. So I was waiting for that day. That was and then the day came, we got to Anglican Girls Secondary School. That was the first time I felt like a famous person. Because when I walked into the school compound with my friend, somebody that was there in Surulere Second Girls passed and said, hey, rapper. And I was like, you know, I wasn't sure it was me. I didn't even know it was me. Then he goes, rapper. And I look, hey, I didn't know what to do really well. Hey, kind of thing. So I'm not like, oh, somebody remembers. We now, it was like these American gangster movies. So when we got into the hall, I was on this side, the two guys, one was on the other side. So we're just, when you're all eyeball each other, like, we die here today. All my friends were behind me, like, it was like a boxing thing. But unfortunately, it never held. It pained me. It never held. But anyways, that was the beginning of it. And then an hour later on, I met Aban Kunle Fawole. He told me about him getting to do a soundtrack for a Tade Uguno movie. What's that movie? Something about diamonds.
Diamond Ring.
Diamond Ring soundtrack. So he called me. That was my first time going into the studio, and we recorded a soundtrack for Diamond Ring. And then they asked me for my name, and I said Soul MC. But I now suddenly didn't really fancy the fact that there was MC in my name because there were so many MCs. So after that day, I went home and I was thinking, okay, what can I change it to? I don't know where Rugged came from, but Rugged was the first thing that came. And then I said to myself, to live in this country, to survive, you have to be rugged. Okay, so what else? And because I was Soul MC before, and I said Rugged Soul. But I didn't like the idea of my soul being rugged. I know, do. No. Then I met Paul Play. They were recording What If. So Paul Play suggested rap.com back then. Anybody who ever listened to my first track, What If, you hear Paul Play saying rap.com, sing about me one time, but it never stuck. And then I was a comic buff. I loved comics. I loved comics so much. My school is in Mishaga Road, so every time I have to get to Ojuelegba to take a bus to, I stayed in Akota then. So Sabo, Bako stuff. So there's this man who sells comics. He had a van that he sells comic books. So I bought so many from him. He got to a stage. The man, I said, okay, you know what? If you finish reading, if they're still in good condition, you can bring them back and take. It now became like a library for me. I was now taking and returning. I'll just pay half or something. And then from there, I now Aquaman, Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Ruggedman. And that was it. So most people, yes, I know when they hear Ruggedman, they know why, but no. Mine came from comic books. So that's how Ruggedman. I didn't know I was giving myself the right name. I didn't know because of the fights that was coming in the future. I didn't know that. But hey, at the end of the day, it was as if I took the right name for the right job. For what was coming. Yes. So that's how I got the name Ruggedman. Not what you were thinking.
Maybe we should look at wrapping up with these last two questions.
No problem.
You've always looked this way for as long as I've known you. Okay. I don't know how you've managed that.
I was going to ask you too.
I can't tell how you've managed that. But hey, 20-something, well over 2 decades.
Yeah.
This is
Ruggedman. Yeah.
The second one, this is one question you've been asked time and time again. When is Madame coming?
Okay, which one do I answer first? Madame is coming.
Madame, why she never come?
Madame,
you've been saying that before.
You've been
now I feel like I'm sitting with my uncle, my dad and my uncle.
Why did you take this long for Madame to come? You haven't even seen her yet.
Okay, no, it's not everybody's Madame or husband that you see. Because one of the best things you can do for yourself as an entertainer is to keep your private life private. And I've successfully done that. Yes, maybe just one person that I've ever dated has ever been known. And one of the places it was city people that were on the red carpet. I don't know why. We even kissed on the red carpet. I'll not tell you the name because you want to go and look for emotion for any picture.
It was everywhere.
So, yes, I've been a very private person. But, okay. The serious part of it is when we came up in the industry, entertainment was a strange land for a lot of us. So we're just going through it and we're learning as we're going. So one thing I now realized is entertainment takes a lot from you, whether you know it or not. Even without you knowing, it takes a lot from you. You drop a song and it takes you maybe a year to push that song. And when I say push, you go to radio stations, TV stations, other media houses, you start traveling and all whatnot. Before you know it, 2 years has gone. And then you're working on an album. You're working on an album, you're in the studio so many times, you're out on the road so many times, you're on TV stations, radio stations so many times that you feel like, in fact, not that you feel, that is all you know at some point. It might feel like a year, but before you know it, 10 years has gone. You understand? And then all of these years that you're moving, you meet a lot of men and women. I'm not only speaking for me right now. You meet a lot of people, and maybe unfortunately for you, there's something a friend of mine said that may make we no go use Kamalofi Iyawo. No. Kamalofi Iyawo, she girlfriend, or as in let's not go and use wife to do a girlfriend. So many of us have probably done that. Because at the time we met somebody who probably would have been wife or husband, we were not thinking about that. We were looking at the music, the videos, the show. So you now get to a stage, suddenly you're now a bit famous. You now don't know who actually likes or loves you for who you are or for what you are and what they can get. Now that's a whole different ballgame entirely. Because you meet people, you have trust issues, especially if you meet them here and then tomorrow go somewhere else and meet the same person there with maybe another artist, so you're not sure. So you keep taking 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. What I'm basically trying to say is, it wasn't easy at that point, at that time. And then before you realize it, a lot of time has gone. You now don't know who exactly to trust, and then you now don't know where to settle. So bros, it's not an easy thing. I've met a lot of women. Some I like don't like me. Some that like me, I don't like them. There was a particular lady I chased for almost 2.5 years. That one, the first one I know I would have married was when I was in school. But her mom did everything possible to break it up because there was somebody that the girl knew that was giving her mom contracts and stuff. Way older guy, obviously she wasn't going to marry him. But she was already in my house, not living with me, but she knew my mom. There was a particular day I came home and she was on my mom's lap and they were gisting. That's how close it was. You understand? So that, I would have been married even when I was in school, but her mom did everything to make sure he scattered. That was one. 2, the girl I was talking about that I chased for 2.5 years, she was in Medilag. Because of her and because I wanted her to know how serious I was, it wasn't a sexual thing for me. The most I did with her was kiss her. But I wanted her to know that this wasn't a sexual thing. I didn't want it to be a one-off thing. It was so crazy that if I had a show, I would go to Medilag and let her know I have a show. I'm going for a show. Do you want to come with me? So that she would just be there. I didn't want, just be around me and see. So that because some people on the outside, they feel entertainers, they have 200 women, 200 men everywhere. It's not that easy. It's not fun. So I always go to her to Medilag. Sometimes she'll come, sometimes she won't. But bros, I went to Medilag so much, people thought I was a medical student. Trust me. I remember a particular Valentine's Day. To show you how much she trusted me, I invite this is okay. This is like 1990 something, maybe 94, 95, 96. Oh no, it was 98. Valentine 98. Now imagine a Valentine, 1998. She trusted me so much that I said, okay, I was gonna get a hotel. Let's spend Valentine's together in a hotel room. She trusted me so much, she said yes. She came. But and then another thing, imagine in 1998, I spent over 350,000 naira on gifts. 1998, 350,000 was like 2 billion. I went as far as getting cards. I got 50 cards from the smallest to the biggest.
Wow.
And then there were teddies and slippers and the room was, oh, goodness Lord. She came in, saw everything. Guess what she said? Nowadays, if I hear that word, if I hear that phrase, I run. She just looked and said, you shouldn't have. She didn't even bring one card. And then she still packed everything when she was leaving the next day. And we didn't do anything, no sex, nothing. We just ate, we just watched movies. She said, that's how much I was into this girl. That it was, all of this happened. I was still there hoping and praying. We went clubbing one day. Keisho was there with us. Keisho, the rapper. Then I saw Keisho and her talk. I've never said this publicly. So Keisho and her were talking, and I just, from the way they were talking, I knew it was about me. So I didn't go there. So I was just hanging around with friends. And then when they finished talking, Keisho just came to me, put his hand on my shoulder and said, Rugged, leave that girl. Leave that girl. I said, why? She said she loves Michael, but she can't stand Ruggedman.
What's the difference?
I wish I could ask her. You know, I guess it's the entertainment part. That whole
Ruggedman
entertainer.
But is there a difference?
There's
Really?
no difference really, because when I'm with my people and Michael, I don't do celebrity for my own people. And the only time I'm a celebrity to me is when I'm outside with people I don't know, or when I'm outside with strangers, or when if I'm at an event, I'm not there as Michael, I'm there as Ruggedman. So yes, you're seeing Ruggedman. But if I'm in a family house or family meeting, I went to a friend's house one time. They were in the backyard. I saw his parents, I greeted, good evening, and I just walked past, and I sat with all of them at the back, we're all eating and joking. Then I wasn't wearing my head warmer. I didn't wear it because it wasn't an event. So somebody now walked in and go, I see Ruggedman. The guys beside me were like, where? And that was like 5 minutes to when I was about to leave. We have been there, we discussed football, I think Buddha, I'm normal. You know, when the guy just walked in, I see Ruggedman. They all said, where? I just started laughing. My guys started laughing. He now said, see, they now looked at me and you're not wearing that. Then instead of me leaving, and I stayed another 1 hour. Then when I started talking, Ruggedman talk. You understand? But when I was there, I was Mike. And if I walk into a place and I see they don't know me, I introduce myself as Michael. You'll never catch me anywhere come in and say, oh, hi, I'm Ruggedman. What's up? Well, but there's a reason. Something happened. Hey, first time in my life I saw a girl I really liked. I didn't know what to do just to get the attention, get her number. I just quickly said, hi, I'm Ruggedman. She said, and so? That's why it was now. That all you hear in that case, Jesus. So that's one of the reasons why I never walk into anywhere and just say, oh, I'm Ruggedman. Now, unless they're expecting Ruggedman, then I walk in. So back to that story. That's how that ended. Really. She didn't like Ruggedman because the entertainment thing. I think a couple of months later, or like a year later, I got a broadcast from her, and she said, please watch my movie. I just said, oh, you didn't accept Ruggedman because of entertainment. So now you have entertainment. I just picked my phone, I just sent her a text. I don't want to use her real name. So let's say her name is, disclaimer, the name I'm about to use is not her real name, so that you will not go and be Googling. Let's say her name is Usisi Popo. Let me just use that. So I just sent her a text and said, hi, I see you're into entertainment now. May you not meet your own Usisi Popo. That's what I wrote. Immediately I sent it. It wasn't up to 10 seconds. She started calling and calling. I didn't pick. They called, I didn't pick. Then she sent a text and said, I understand what you mean. I'm really sorry. I never replied. None of my business. Because basically, that's part of why I said this whole story is because we lose a lot. We lose time, we lose money, we lose friendships, we lose relationships. Some of us lose wives, some lose husbands. So I believe that's one of the reasons why I'm not married today, but it doesn't mean I've not had, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to. I'm also, it has to be Rugged Junior. But you guys calm down. Don't be rushing everybody. If I rush in now and rush out, it's you people or that you to carry you. Let's leave that on aside. So yes, I am going to marry, but maybe city people should start find Ruggedman a wife. Challenge. I'll send all the things I need in my life. Yes. So that's that one out of the way. And then why I look like this, I don't know, it's God. I'll just say it's God. The last time I was in the gym, I think was 10 years ago.
Are you serious?
Last time I was in the gym was 10 years ago. And I don't know, is it because, really I can't say. It's probably genes. Probably great genes. And I don't mean denim, as in biological genes. And then I don't eat much. Not that I don't eat much, but okay. My friends think I'm weird because when it comes to food, let's say protein, I only eat croaker fish, chicken, and cow beef. That's all I eat. I don't eat shaki shoko around about T junction. You see leg, cow leg, tail, yeah. I eat pama, but it has to be those thin. I'm very picky. It has to be those thin pama. That's all. I don't eat. Then yes, I do your rice, amala, eba, akpu, old yam. That's all. Everything else I do eat. And then most times I eat maybe like twice a day. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I eat twice, 3 times. But sometimes I eat once a day. So I don't really know. There's a friend of mine one time said one day he's gonna follow me for 24 hours and document everything I eat and do. And maybe that's why. This is me fat too. This is me fat. Like the only thing that makes my cheeks sometimes look like it's full, but this is just, I've never been more than this.
Are you heavy on alcohol? How much of it do you take?
No, I'm an occasional drinker. It's only when I go out that I drink. I don't just sit in the house. I don't think I've ever just sat in the house and drink. No. It's when I go out. Maybe we go clubbing, that's when I drink. And I don't smoke. I've never smoked.
I know that.
You know, some people don't agree with that. They said, no, that okay. Somebody wrote it on Twitter, and when I said I don't smoke, the guy said, he's a liar, that me and him shared. So see, I just came to lie on social media. You know? I don't smoke. I've never smoked. So, yeah. And maybe that's why.
What was the take of the political situation a few months back when the whole country was like...
Nigeria is not ready for good leadership. That's just what I feel. That's what I saw. Nigeria is not ready for good leadership. And I will always tell people it's not about tribe, it's not about religion, it's not about your political party, it should be about the people. So anybody who comes to you, any political party who comes to you and starts preaching tribe, religion, if you accept them, then you're as bad as them. That's what I say. It's not about, I will say it again, it's not about religion, it's not about tribe, it's not about, political party. It's about the good of the people. Anybody who comes at you and tells you anything bad about the next man just to get your vote or get your support, and you do that, then you're as bad as that person, as far as I'm concerned. And so from that, you should already know what I feel about Nigerian politics. No, let me not say Nigerian politics, Nigerian government, because politics is everywhere. There's politics everywhere. It works in some places, it doesn't work in some places. Where it works is where it's more about the people, not the rulers, not the people in power. It's more about the people. Places where you have your basic amenities and they make sure the people complain, the government reacts positively, not willing to flog them or arrest them for complaining. Yeah, those places, yes, that's where politics works. Yes, it doesn't mean they're 100% perfect. There's nothing perfect in life. But then in places where politics does not work, it's places like Nigeria, Africa, and things like that. Because, my brother, we have more bad things happening than good.
And good.
I'm not, see, you can lie to yourself. I will not lie to myself. Nigeria is not working. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. And some people still try to tell me it's democracy. Don't target anything you want. Target atutu poyoyo. If it works, if the masses are getting fed and they're getting paid salaries, the roads are good, transportation is there, you buy food cheap, and call it atutu poyoyo. I'm there for you. I'll support you with everything. But you can't be feeding fat and then telling me, hold on, calm down, things will be all right. Since 1960, we don't have one functioning refinery. Since 1960, we don't have electricity, constant electricity. You understand? So these things are not, it's not, how will I put it? They're not impossible things. It's just things that some group of people refuse to do. That's all. Okay, look at it. Some will say, ruling a country is not easy. It's very easy. If you own a home, if you run a home, it is very easy to rule a country. Because if there's no electricity in your house, what do? You pay the bill. If you don't have money to pay the bill, you work to get money to pay that bill. If your rent is due, you pay the rent. If there's no water, you look for a way to get water. But when there's no water, no electricity, no security, and then they come to you, the head of the house, and you say, I'm just looking at what I can do. There's really nothing. Okay, all of you contribute money. They contribute money to you, and then they wait for you. And then the next thing you say, hold on, I'm just using the money for something to do, or you guys should just calm down. Is the house working? No. Is the head of the house working? No. So what are you waiting for? The simplest example I can give you. You hire a driver and he's driving anyhow, endangering your life and the lives of your children. What do you do to that driver?
Yes, sir.
No, you need to say it out. Let her hear. You are? You're a driver. But if you continue paying that driver and retaining that driver, what happens at the end of the day? Accident. So thank you.
What part of the Regent philosophy do you share? And which part don't you agree with?
I'm not about obedient or agbado or anything. I'm about a Nigeria can work if we all decide to make it work. That's all. So I'm here. I'm open to anybody who is ready to make Nigeria work, who's ready to give me good lights, roads, hospitals, and just make life, and give me minimum, an okay minimum wage, and let us be able to buy fuel at okay prices. You understand? Because there's this thing I say. Okay, let me leave it there for now. Because if we enter this Nigerian talk, Nigeria is as bad as the people are getting. Before, it used to be about, they used to say, it's only the leaders that are bad. But now even the people are bad. But then I don't blame the people. You know why? No, don't shake your head like this. There's a reason why. Because the head has been bad so much, it's trickled down to the people. It could have been salvaged years ago when maybe it was halfway. And then something happened and we got good leaders, and of course, hey, things. See, okay, you heard about the coup.
Yeah.
Gabon.
Gabon,
Yeah.
So coup is the new thing.
It's the new
Coup is the new, it's spreading. And why are these things happening? Because these African leaders are not doing good to their own people. I read about where the former Gabon president, he imported fake snow into their presidential villa so that he and the family can have white Christmas. Meanwhile, no food, no nothing outside for them. Who does that? A lot of African leaders will steal money and still have the guts to rub it in the faces of their people. And then you expect the people not to either revolt or to have a coup to happen. Come on, things are changing. Things are changing. And what these African leaders forget is they are getting older while the younger ones are now coming up. So the ideas of the old people is way different from the ideas of the younger ones. Very soon now, they probably be using technology to do coup. They should just be careful. But the only thing, see, do good and everybody around you is good. That's just it. But if you do bad, anything can happen. has always been there for me. Not just music-wise, they support all of my events and everything. The day of these awards, I was shooting. You people know I'm now Mazigalo. So I was shooting, I couldn't make it to the awards, but of course, and I apologized to Agashaya, and immediately he called, he sent me a message and asking if I could come. I said, which one is if I could come? I will show up. So this is me and this is my Agashaya. Oh, if I let me give you your own award now. Let me say thank you very much for all the love and the support you and city people have been showing me.
Welcome.
The last time I came to see people when it was in Olga, I brought wine. Today again I brought another carton. Yes, I have to be doing it. And of course, this is the Music Award City People icon of this is my icon of Music Award. At least City People is giving me my flowers. I'm smelling it.
Yes,
I'm smelling it while I'm alive. So all of you out there doing good, God bless you. Keep doing good. This is Ruggedman. Big shout out to City People. Big shout out to Nigeria. Afrobeat, hip hop, everything to the world. God bless. Show my people, let us see that, let us see that, let us see that. We are not alone. Yes, so boss. Correct. Will I get some picture? If it's possible.
Yes,
If it's possible, man, don't go say what you're not supposed to say. Thanks so much, sir.
Since you live around here,
I used to live in Thank you very much. I'll keep calling. Thanks. Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, city people.
Yes,